Robert Whitaker has offered his insights on the upcoming rematch between Alex Volkanovski and Islam Makhachev. Whitaker thinks that despite Volkanovski's short notice, the Australian fighter has a chance to beat Makhachev this time. Here is what he said. "I'm interested for this fight for sure. To see how the dynamic between Makhachev and Volk changes from the first fight. Him going in on 12 days with nothing to lose, making a ton of money, last minute, late notice, nothing to lose, everything to gain. I think that sort of headspace gets him in there almost better than the first time they fought because it frees him up. He knows. He's got nothing to lose, everything to gain. I can see that being a bit of a problem for Makhachev. I look at it and I wonder, what does Makhachev do from the first fight to beat Volk? What can Makhachev do differently so it's not as close of a fight? Arguably Volk won." The stakes keep going up as the fight date approaches, and the MMA community is buzzing with rumors. Only time will tell if Volkanovski is able to take advantage of this chance and change the path of his conflict with Makhachev. A welterweight contender, Belal Muhammad, recently spoke openly about the forthcoming title battle between Colby Covington and Leon Edwards, expressing his opinion that it may be Covington's last fight as a professional. Muhammad implied that the UFC purposefully matched Covington with older opponents to increase his chances of winning. Most of his previous opponents have been seasoned fighters in the latter stages of their careers. Here is what Belal said. "He's not a guy that's going to fight contenders. You've seen it. The UFC's literally given him older guys on their way out in every single one of his fights just so he can get a win, then given him a title fight. Like there's no more older guys in the division for him to fight if he loses to Leon. There's no more older guys in the division on their way out." Muhammad also predicted the potential outcome of the contest between Covington and Edwards. "I think Colby's going to come out throwing his wild, random strikes, literally his terrible technique. I think Leon's going to move around, throw some good high kicks, body kicks, low kicks. Colby's going to take a couple of terrible shots, and he's going to realize he can't take Leon down. Leon probably will get taken down in the first round, second round. Then once it gets later to the third or fourth round, I think he's going to start feeling the kicks from Leon, his body is going to start hurting, and I think Leon's going to get the finish in the fourth round." Islam Makhachev's coach, Javier Mendez, has offered his thoughts on Alexander Volkanovski's clear confidence and how it may affect the outcome of their highly awaited rematch. Mendez thinks Volkanovski's confidence may have both positive and negative effects. Here is what he said. "He's going to take more chances than last time. He's not going to be worried about the takedowns because he's obviously survived the ground last time and he also did his best work on the ground, not in the stand-up, so he's not going to be afraid of anything. He feels he can handle whatever Islam has to throw, but we'll see. I mean, you can feel whatever you want to feel, but when you're in there, it's not what I think, it's not what you think, it's not what anybody thinks, it's what these two are going to do." It remains to be seen whether Makhachev can capitalize on Volkanovski's confidence and turn it to his own advantage in their upcoming rematch. Josh Thomson, a former MMA fighter, has taken aim at Charles Oliveira and accused him of being responsible for an injury received during a sparring session, just 2 weeks before his highly anticipated matchup with Islam Makhachev. Thomson was direct in his criticism of Oliveira for not wearing a headgear during his sparring sessions. Here is what he said. "He wasn't wearing headgear. Stupid. Look, headgear is not to protect you from getting knocked out, it's to protect you from getting cut. I don't understand. When I spent the money on that really expensive headgear that had the bigger cheek pads, more of the frame, went down more around my chin, it was just to avoid getting cuts. The reason why people get cut more towards the end of camp is because they don't fight the same way at the end of camp because they're concerned, like, next week's the fight. I'm just gonna chill. They're not being overly aggressive, so they're 1 second behind, and that leaves their head in a position it wouldn't normally be in. Why are we doing a Shark Tank right before? You're obviously in shape." USADA CEO, Travis Tygart, shed light on the organization's decision to part ways with the UFC. Tygart claims that the UFC's ambition to obtain more control over drug testing processes at the price of openness and independence was the main reason for the split. Here is what he said. They said something about their own tailored program, or flexible program, set costs. And I pressed them on the costs, because we gave them one number that was very consistent with the past 8 years' numbers, including inflation and pool size, athlete size increases and that kind of stuff. And we never heard another peep about the number. Never a question about. The day we have a scheduled call about it, you tell me that costs are an issue, when they've never been before. And you all are now valued at $12 billion, and $7 million to a $12 billion company is frankly peanuts. So what's really going on here? And then they'll probably try to subcontract out with a laboratory, and then UFC likely will handle all the results, will be my guess. So they'll bring it in-house and control every aspect to it. Who's tested, what's tested for, at what times they're tested, send out collectors to go test it. I don't know, but that's my prediction for sure. That's not a model that comes close, probability-wise and effectiveness-wise. But that's the model you can control and get the results that you want when you want them, without the same level of openness and transparency and independence that our program provides. Thanks for watching. If you're a fan of MMA, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications, so you never miss an update. Also leave a comment below with your thoughts on today's news. Keep supporting the sport, and we'll see you in the next one.